about that White House Correspondents' Dinner. I've learned that the White House attempted to rescind an email that went out shortly after the shooting. And it was a communications email, which may go a long way in terms of explaining how that Erika Kirk moment went so viral. And on that note, I also learned an interesting thing about Justin Strife, the COO. He became the COO 7 days before Charlie died of Turning Point USA. And I've told you guys he's the person who allegedly phoned the mysterious Pierre on that day. Well, not only did he make that rather suspicious phone call, but he also called someone else with an approval from Erika herself. I will just say, when you learn who else he called, you're just going to probably feel like I feel. These people had some curious priorities that day, which seemed to center around making money. I'll say that. Apparently, the White House Military Office sent out communications shortly after our alleged shootings. The press correspondents' dinner, which then everyone started speaking about how we needed a ballroom. So to jog your memory, the shooting took place at 8:36 p.m. Eastern, okay? That's when the Secret Service began firing at one another, so we've since learned.
So this is at a ballroom the other day where there was the alleged shooting. And this is kind of like what we're talking about in particular involving Erika Kirk right here.
Unbelievable part of the entire thing is that Erika Kirk video where she's walking by and she's going, I just want to go home.
So that part right there is really what we're talking about. And Candace Owens is about to literally expose not just Erika Kirk, but not just even Turning Point USA. This is bigger than Turning Point USA. This is the government. For whatever reason, the government is trying to manufacture a narrative around Erika Kirk being scared. So all of these different weird mood swings that we've watched from Erika Kirk, this is literally the first time through this whole case, we actually now have proof that literally everything that Erika Kirk has been doing is manufactured. At first, it was an assumption. Maybe, Tyler Boyer or somebody behind her, or Andrew Kolvet is controlling the strings. Then we may think, no, it can't be because she is the CEO. We now have proof that there is a manufactured narrative. So all we really have to do is figure out what that actual narrative is and why they want that narrative to be pushed. And third, what do they want us to do? Because that's the number one thing. What do they want us to do? How do they want us to respond to their manufactured narrative? So let's keep going, but this is absolutely mind-blowing.
Dinner, which then everyone started speaking about how we needed a ballroom. So to jog your memory, the shooting took place at 8:36 p.m. Eastern, okay? That's when the Secret Service began firing at one another, so we've since learned. Then at 9:25 p.m., a little under an hour later, Sarah Seidner, you'll recall, of CNN, she became the first person on social media to upload the now infamous I Want to Go Home video of Erika Kirk.
I just want to go home.
And we can show you that that's when she uploaded it. There is a tool where you can look at the metadata of Instagram posts. She posted it onto Instagram. Here it is. In the corner there, it will tell you that she posted it at 1:25, and you are looking at Universal Time, okay? So 1:25 a.m. Universal Time. That is 9:25 p.m. Eastern Time. What happened next? At approximately 9:49 p.m., so less than 20 minutes later after that video went out, the White House Military Office sent out an updated communication. Oddly, within that communication, they describe an amendment to the Erika Kirk video clip.
An amendment to the video clip. So they're paying real attention to this small clip of Erika walking out, crying, saying I want to go home. So it's like they're painting a narrative that Erika Kirk is a victim. But then in another video, they're painting a narrative that Erika Kirk is a cat burglar or an assassin or whatever. You know, she's wearing all black and looking stupid. And it's just like, we have to figure out what the actual narrative is that they're trying to push. And is it two narratives? Because this narrative right here,
I wake up to a new headline lying about.
This is a totally different narrative. She's not looking scared. She's not looking weak. She's looking like a cat burglar. So is it two different narratives that they're trying to push? We have to figure out what the actual narrative is, so then we can figure out why or what they're trying to get us to do or to think.
Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. Comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO.
The evil forces working to divide us.
But y'all are the evil forces. Y'all are the evil forces. Y'all are the actual ones unaliving people. We didn't do nothing. We just online talking shit. But the actual evil forces are the ones that are evilly forcing people into heaven. We didn't do that. And mind you, the man that she's actually advocating for, which is Donald Trump, admitted to blowing up a school full of children. None of us that I know of own rockets that can blow up a damn school full of children. None of us that I know of has something to do with unaliving their husband. So the last time I checked, y'all are the evil forces.
In Romans chapter 12, verse 21, it says, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
Did it say, do not kill your husband? Anything in there that says thou shalt not get with some evil forces, unalive your husband, is that in there somewhere? Thou shalt not take over your husband's company and get on thy husband's podcast. Is that in there?
This is why my husband.
Like, was it podcast in the Bible? Like, did somebody have a podcast back in the day when they were writing the Bible? Because a lot of the things that Erika Kirk is doing is a little bit different than what was going on in the Bible. So like, I think we kind of like, gotta think for ourselves in some of these things, because this woman literally took, not her herself, but I think she knows that, or who took his life. So I'm not saying she took his life, literally. So I'm just going to say it, but I don't mean it literally. Literally, she took his life, took his company, and took his podcast. And now she literally thinks she is Charlie Kirk, but she's too stupid to be Charlie Kirk. But is this narrative something that they want us to think? So it's like, okay, what if they're setting somebody up to get framed, unalived, to blame on us? Like, as an example, when Erika Kirk went to this the college in Georgia, Erika Kirk was running around saying, I didn't want to go on stage because somebody was trying to unalive me, right? Is Erika Kirk walking out of that ballroom crying? Is it setting the narrative for an actual blank attempt on her to make us feel sorry for her? So there's a narrative that we just got to figure out. There's something that they're trying to push, but we're going to figure this out. So let's go back to Candace.
25 a.m. Universal Time. That is 9:25 p.m. Eastern Time. What happened next at approximately 9:49 p.m.?
Can y'all see my screen, right? Just want to make sure. I don't have my phone up. Can y'all see my screen? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can see Candace on the screen. I'm going through all these different screens. I don't want to go too far, and I'll do it myself. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see my screen. Just want to make sure. Okay, cool.
So less than 20 minutes later after that video went out, the White House military office sent out an updated communication. Oddly, within that communication, they describe an amendment to the Erika Kirk video clip, okay? The traction of which they were monitoring. Now, I can get behind the military office wanting to communicate. Don't quite understand why this moment would be something that they were monitoring and then sending out language about how they wanted this to be the focus of the evening, how they wanted this to be the focus of the evening, how they wanted this to be the focus of the evening.
So right here, for whatever reason, we got to figure this out amongst ourselves. Why did they want the focus of the evening from a social media standpoint to not be about this shooter that, you know, we've all been talking about, but instead Erika Kirk being afraid? They want us to be afraid for Erika Kirk, empathize for Erika Kirk, or be afraid ourselves, like we are Erika Kirk, more than being concerned about the president or the vice president possibly getting blanked. And somebody said fear is a virus. I can understand that. Yes, I totally agree. Somebody said, who is they? I don't know who they is. It's a lot of theys. So I'm not going to say who they is. They could be IHOP, which is the country that, you know, we can't talk about, or they'll like demonetize my channel. It could be our own government, Donald Trump and them, or it could be Turning Point USA, or it could be all of them, because most likely it's all three of them, but I don't know. But what is the narrative?
This moment would be something that they were monitoring and then sending out language about how they wanted this.
See, they're monitoring it. They're monitoring it. They're like, okay, it's going viral. It's going viral. Oh, we got this amount of views. So they're literally using that one clip of Erika Kirk walking out as a litmus test for human behavior. And there's something going on where it's like, do they want us to hate Erika Kirk for a certain reason? Because that's the thing that I'm thinking about. I might be wrong, but put it like this. Let's do this. Put a 1 in the chat if you either dislike Erika Kirk or you think Erika Kirk is an idiot. One of the two. Put a 1 in the chat if you dislike Erika Kirk for whatever reason, or you think Erika Kirk is just stupid and she doesn't need to be CEO of Turning Point USA. Put a 1 in the chat if you think one of those two. Because what if, I'm just asking, what if they need us to hate Erika Kirk? And if there's enough people that are showing how much they hate Erika Kirk, then somebody has an attempt on Erika Kirk's life. They then can point at us and say, we're the bad people because one of us who don't like Erika Kirk did this to her. And because one of us tried to do this to her, which is all going to be fabricated and a lie, they could then take a right away or a few rights away from us. Yeah, and label us radical something. So the thing about it is, I think the narrative that they're trying to paint or push, because when she was at UGA, it was a narrative like, oh my God, somebody's after Erika Kirk, not after the vice president, who is also in the building, but they are after Erika Kirk. And then Erika Kirk keeps saying stupid shit or doing stupid shit. And, you know,
my husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
And making memes like this.
Having lived through quite literal hell these past 7 months,
Everyone grieves differently.
And then making memes like this.
Stop. Stop.
And this. What if Erika Kirk is making a fool out of herself on purpose? What if Erika Kirk is looking like this dysfunctional lunatic on purpose? And the reasoning is to get us as a community to look like we hate her so much that one of us would try to unalive her. And just in case YouTube is paying attention, I am not saying somebody would, should, could, or needs to do that. I'm just breaking down a thought process, okay? So YouTube, I'm not telling anybody to do it. I am not inciting anybody to do anything. I'm just pontificating. So she's running around doing all this stupid shit, and we are in this area because nobody hates Erika, but we're in this area of hate. You know, we have this disdain for Erika Kirk. We all think she's stupid. We all think she's compromised. We all think, you know, she had something to do with Charlie Kirk passing away, including me. And because of this narrative that they are pushing, because they're feeding this narrative to us every day, they're feeding this narrative to us in order for us to be looked at as extremists, violent extremists. And because this is what can happen after this. If there is an attempt on Erika Kirk's life, just like there was an attempt or all this stuff is fake, okay? There was no attempt on Donald Trump's life. The little ear situation was a lie. The ballroom thing was a lie. We all, you know, put all that out. Why is a lie? But the next thing that may happen is something almost happens to Erika Kirk. And when something almost happens to Erika Kirk, now somebody jumps up like the president and says, you know what? This keeps happening and it's not going to happen anymore. And now, because of what you as the public are doing, we have to take your rights away. You forced our hand. And next thing you know, we can't do something anymore. They take away our guns or something. We give up a certain amount of freedom when it comes to surveillance or something. And next thing you know, there's laws in place that will call us on social media violent extremists, even though we're just talking about stuff like this. I think that is the actual narrative. I think the next play is for something to almost happen to Erika Kirk so people can get excited and scared and all this other stuff for them to take away our rights. What do y'all think? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no? What do y'all think? And to everybody watching, drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know where you at. And for the people watching on mobile version, I have two channels. You're watching on Mr. Let Go 2.0. Come over to Mr. Let Go, my other channel, if you want to see the full version of this show. All right. So those who are watching on mobile, I have another channel named Mr. Let Go, MRLETGO without the 2.0. Just look up Mr. Let Go and then come on this channel and you'll be able to see me in the full screen.
Monitoring. Now, I can get behind.
It's what they're monitoring. They're monitoring something.
Within that communication, they describe an amendment to the Erika Kirk video clip, okay? The traction of which they were monitoring. Now, I can get behind the military office wanting to communicate. Don't quite understand why this moment would be something that they were monitoring and then sending out language about how they wanted this to be the focus of the evening, how they wanted this to be the focus of the evening, how they wanted this to be the focus of the evening. Anyway, I'm now going to read you the relevant portion of this email pertaining to Erika Kirk. Fascinating. Remember, everyone was gaslighting us and saying that this was totally just organic.
I just want to go find It's a psyop,
No, they weren't asking people to boost this clip for any particular reason. It reads, amendment to the Erika Kirk video clip, the video clip of Erika Kirk leaving the ballroom area and stating, quote, "I just want to go home," is driving our highest organic engagement of all incident-related content across platform.
Incident-related content is higher than all of our incident-related content. What the hell is incident-related content? IRC? They literally have an IRC rating? This has a low rating of incident-related content, but this has a high level of incident-related content? What? They're manufacturing incident-related content. What?
Is driving our highest organic engagement of all incident-related content across.
All of this is a psyop. This is in an email, y'all. They're reporting on this. They're seeing analytics on incident-related content. If you think any of these situations are real, you're crazy. Every time you see something crazy, especially that happens, to the Trump or whatever, the ear situation, all of it is meant to spark incident-related content or create incident-related content. Shout out to Candace. Everybody say in the chat, "I stand with Candace." Everybody say, "I stand with Candace." Like Candace, to this day, it's been almost a year and she is still on these people's asses. Everybody say, "I stand with Candace" in the chat. She is on these people's asses, y'all. Golly, man. This shit is crazy. She's reading this off an email. They're doing analytics on incident-related content.
Amendment to the Erika Kirk video clip, the video clip of Erika Kirk leaving the ballroom area and stating, quote, "I just want to go home," is driving our highest organic engagement of all incident-related content across platforms. The current assessment of that digital item is that it has generated the strongest emotional response. It is our strongest emotional response asset associated with the incident. It has.
They said it was an asset. What's up, Tone? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on, Tone? They said it was an asset. You know what an asset is? They said they didn't say it was a liability. They said it was an asset. It's our biggest asset. Oh my God. Now, I recorded this, but I did not watch this full part. I just recorded it and got it ready because there's certain things in here I heard, but I'm not hearing I didn't hear everything I'm hearing now. It's a freaking asset.
Item is that it has generated the strongest emotional response. It is our strongest emotional response asset.
That shit is crazy. It's their asset.
Associated with the incident. It has high cross ideological circulation. So
cross ideological what?
Whether you're on the left or the right, wherever you stand, we're seeing this clip. That's good for us. It has elevated repost velocity.
Elevated repost velocity. I don't even know what the hell that means. And I'm a social media person. Elevated repost velocity. Of course, we can use context clues and tell that everybody's reposting it. So when we repost videos of Erika Kirk saying stupid shit, we're part of the repost velocity. They want us to spread content shitting on Erika Kirk, or they want us to spread content empathizing with Erika Kirk. One of the two. But they want us to do something.
Amongst political commentary accounts, increasing the use as a symbolic framing device regarding media conduct and national.
Symbolic framing. Symbolic framing. Symbolic framing. What are they trying to frame us as? They're trying to frame us as, they're trying to frame us, because we're the people sharing and commenting and speaking on this stuff. They're trying to frame us as something. What do you think that something is, y'all? What do you think they're trying to frame us as? Whether it's y'all or whether it's us, you know, the people making the content or the people commenting on the content. What do you think they're trying to frame us as? I think they're trying to frame us as, I want to see what y'all got to say first, though. What is the word? That's it. That's it. Domestic terrorists. That's it. Unstable, agitating, domestic. I don't want to say that word again. They're trying to frame us as dangerous, radical, domestic T words. And we're falling right into their damn hands in order to take our rights away. Because if the government cannot trust us and they think we are after them instead of them being after us, which is actually the truth, they're trying to unalive probably 4 million of us because there's too many people on earth. But if they set the narrative as we are trying to get them instead of them trying to get us, they can take our rights away. They can start having robo dogs busting our houses and shit.
On the left or the right, wherever you stand, we're seeing this clip. That's good for us. It's
good for us. It's good for us. Somebody said, who is them? They're calling themselves us. This stuff is good for us. Them, us, not us.
Ideological circulation. So whether you're on the left or the right, wherever you stand, we're seeing this clip. That's good for us. It has elevated repost velocity amongst political commentary accounts, increasing the use as a symbolic framing device.
Somebody keeps saying, well, a lot of you keep saying, who is them? The people in the email is them. And she's going to talk about who's in the email. But the them is the government that has this video and this email that got circulated. So that's who them is. Them are whatever. That's who they are.
Regarding media conduct and national stability narratives. Our
national stability conduct. Do you see these words? So the reason why I'm stopping this is because I want y'all to see the multitude of trigger words that are in one email. It's like 30 different trigger words in this one email that is alarming as hell. I don't count it at least, 9 different trigger words that are painting us to be violent extremists.
Elevated repost velocity amongst political commentary accounts, increasing the use as a symbolic framing device regarding media conduct and national stability narratives. Our recommendation forward is that all communication channels should amplify this clip further.
Make it worse. Amplify it further. Not stop it, not slow it down. Whatever we're doing, however we're reacting to this, they want us to react to it more. Somebody said, Tone said, even her reacting to this and me reacting to her reading to this is part of the psyop. They want us to do this. But why? If my theory isn't correct, what else would it be?
With digital partners.
Digital partners? So y'all ask who they are? They have partners. They have partners. Let's see who the digital partners are. What the fuck? Digital partners?
All communication channels should amplify this clip further. Coordinate with digital partners and our approved surrogates.
Our approved surrogates. I wonder who the approved are. Y'all, they're putting us in a blender. They're putting us in a blender and they putting the cap on and they hitting the button. They're putting our ass in a blender.
To elevate the reach and ensure dominant placement.
Dominant placement. To ensure dominant placement. Why? Why do they want us? This is crazy.
In the overnight information environment.
Bro, it's so many words in this one email is nuts. The overnight information environment? What? Overnight? What does overnight have to do with anything? Is it something that we don't know that happens overnight?
The most viral engagement presently centered around the attendee reaction clip.
I just want to go find
Now is circulating across all platforms broadly. Wow. They want that to be number one amplified overnight in the information environment.
The fuck does that mean? The overnight information environment? There is so much about social media that they're weaponizing. And somebody said a long time ago that anything that is free, any platform that is free means we are the product. Anything that is free means we are the actual product. Everybody say, I stand with Candace, because Candace is breaking this shit all the way down. Everybody say in the chat, I stand with Candace.
Military office. I don't know. I just feel like this would not be the number one priority of these individuals in an environment where you don't have any answers. Again, I'm telling you, this is 9:49 p.m. This is a little over an hour after the shooting took place.
An hour after the shooting took place, they put out this email, y'all. So this is proof that the shooting was fake. The other shooting was fake. And possibly the Charlie Kirk shooting was fake. So there's a possibility that the Charlie Kirk situation and how they bumbled the situation, how they said, we found this shooter in 33 hours, and all of this evidence that is getting sent to all of us is literally a huge part of theater. What if all of this, all of it, is theater? But why? I don't know. But what if all of this is just simply theater? Erika Kirk doing this, Erika Kirk doing that. It's like an episode of a damn soap opera. I want y'all to check this out.
Are just waking up, it's really important to understand how the fake new media, right? You are the new media. We're MAGA. We're the new MAGA media.
So listen to this. This is a perfect example of how a lot of this stuff is like how it works on a back end. And everybody hit the thumbs up button if you have not already. Everybody hit the thumbs up button if you have not already.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
The likes are down, so make sure to hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, and hit the hype button also. HYPE and LIKE. Check this out.
How all of these influencers are all getting paid via these different platforms that pay content creators and put up bounties for specific keywords or topics. So for example, if you talk about the Trump assassination or you talk about Charlie Kirk's shooter being trans and you all put out the same keywords in your title, and then once you create that post, you add your link to these platforms and then you get paid a percentage of that bounty. Let me show you how this works. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I just want to go over to Grok and I said, what websites pay influencers for clipping and posting content? Platforms that pay influencers for clipping and posting content are, and it says Whoop Content, Bix, Starlit Clips, and Clips. And now there's probably a ton of others, but so I set up and I went and got into Starlit Clips. So what happens when you go over to Starlit Clips? So check this out. So this is in their Discord. So they basically post here and they show you, okay, if you post on TikTok, we're paying $30 for 100,000 views. We're paying for Reels on Instagram, I believe $30 for 100,000 views. Shorts, we're paying $30 for 100,000 views. And Twitter and X, we're paying $15 per 100,000 views. Okay, now it's funded or clip for Vardan. So here's the Vardan. Post Vardan's clips everywhere. So basically this guy creates a video, and if you take his video and you cut clips from his video or his podcast or whatever the case may be, and then you submit your links, every time your link gets 100,000 views, there's a total bounty. And I don't know if where the bounty is. We'll have to look into it a little bit. But basically, if there was
So there are something called bounties when you just as a normal person, if you want to make some money, you go to one of these websites and there's different options for you to just take a video or take a link and post it on a Twitter, post it on Instagram, post it on YouTube or whatever. And if it gets a certain amount of likes or views, you get the actual bounty. You might get $200. You might get $500. So these are bounties. So what you do is, not saying for you to do it, but this is what's going on the back end that a lot of people don't know about, where somebody on Twitter or X would just say something hateful, say something crazy, say something off the wall. A lot of times, just like we're learning, something is happening and they're paying people to respond to it for reasons that I don't necessarily know, but it's some type of fear mongering or rage baiting or something.
like say this would be like a $5,000 bounty. So they're going to pay up to $5,000 for the first person that actually submits and gets X amount of views for every 100,000. So if you got a video that got like, let's say 50 million views and you use one of his clips and you submitted it, you might be able to drain that entire bounty before anybody else even gets their clip submitted. And there's tons of these different websites out there. Like I said, I've showed you just a few. Now another one is a different style, which is Bix. So you go into Bix and you add a service. Like I'm willing to create content on politics for whatever.
Somebody said, how do you make $7,000? Now I don't care about $30. Well, if you start shilling for IHOP, apparently they'll promise to pay you $7,000 per video you post. But come to find out, none of those dumb people that was shilling for IHOP even got their money. And there's nothing you can do about it. They unalive, well, somebody unalive Charlie Kirk. So they'll unalive you if you mess with them. So what are you going to do about it? So they supposed to pay you $7,000 per video, and they didn't pay them nothing. And there's nothing you can do about it.
And then brands or packs could actually come over here and go, boom, we want to automatically choose your service. So you say, boom, here's $1,000 to make a tweet on whatever, right? So you can put up a services, I post tweets on X, for $100 a tweet, and they could go, boom, they could send you the information, they would pay you for the gig, they would tell you what you post it, and you would post it, and once you post it, you submit the link, and then these platforms act like an aggregator, or these websites act like like an escrow account, right? Like so when you're doing a real estate deal and you're closing on your house and it's transferring the deed from one person's name to the ex, your money basically goes in escrow. So it's in limbo there. So neither party controls it. The banks actually control it. And when you sign the documents or you pay the loan, then it transfers ownership, right? So this is the same thing. There's a bounty, there's a reward that's put up, and then that reward is already in a third party. So once you submit your link, and if your link meets all the criteria, keywords, blah, 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 as soon as that gets 100,000 views, you're instantly getting paid. Boom, 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 boom. And that's how you see all the fake MAGA media, all using the same exact talking points, saying the same exact script. It's not because they're getting views and they're getting paid on X for their views, guys. Come on. Are you really going to kill your timeline and put out some stupid shit that you don't even care to report on just to put it out for fun because you want to help the Trump administration? You're an independent journalist. Of course you're not. You're only going to report on things if you think they're valuable or you're getting paid for it. Okay, so now let's do this. Let's show you guys just how much money and how easy it is to clean up on shit like this and how much these dudes actually make. So it's $30,000 or it's $30 for 100,000 views. Okay, let's go here. Charlie Kirk assassinated by a leftist trans activist. This is Benny Johnson. 2.5 million views. So 2.5 million divided by 100,000 is 25. 25 times 30 is what? $750 just for one post. So if somebody put up a bounty for anybody that was talking about the activist being a trans shooter, okay, and you're getting paid roughly $30 for 100,000 views, you're literally going to make $750. Benny Johnson.
Y'all see that, right? All of this is rage baiting. And everybody's getting paid to rage bait. I get paid by y'all. I get paid by YouTube. I don't get paid by none of this shit here because I'm an independent person. I'm not even a journalist. I'm not even in politics. I call what I do parapolitics. I'm parapolitical. That's what I call myself.
Not that one post would have. Now, I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying that was one. I'm just giving you an example of how much money these influencers could be making if there's bounties on shit like this. And some of the times when we see all of a sudden the MAGA media, all of them echoing the exact same talking points, word for word. How many times have you seen the screenshots of MAGA? And there's like 20 different people that are all saying literally almost the exact same thing identically.
They literally said, build a ballroom, build a ballroom, build a ballroom, build a ballroom. That's what happened. So for all of you who are wondering, like when y'all were on Twitter and after the shooting happened or the alleged shooting happened, everybody just started saying, build a ballroom. It was literally because they all were trying to get paid from some type of ballroom bounty.
Like word for word. It's almost like it's scripted, right? Are we really buying that this trans shooter bullshit? Why isn't Benny Johnson? Why isn't Tim Pool? Why aren't any of these people talking about the fact that most likely this was a professional hit job carried out by Israel? Everybody's silent on it except for Candace Owens and Ian Carroll and the OGs. So I want to explain how the pay-to-play game works here in the influencer world, especially in the digital age. And they have these things which are called clipping sites. So a clipping site will basically, and I'm going to give you the rundown because I kind of made a slide to actually break it down. But these sites out there, some are anybody can join, and then some are invite only. So this is how the PACs use, and they basically hide behind these sites, and they use these sites to directly pay influencers to do work on behalf of a political opponent without actually having to report it. So this is how they're like adding that middleman in the barrier and why it's so hard to determine who's paying who and how they're getting paid. So let me explain this to you. This little slide, right? So let's just say they have a bounty, and let's just say I want to put out I want to put a $50,000 bounty out, and I'm willing to pay $10 per 100,000 views. Now you don't have to get 100,000 views to earn $10. You could get 10,000 views and you could earn $1, right? Because all the accounts are different, and you want as many accounts as humanly possible, basically competing to earn their share of the 50,000. So along with the bounty, this is the actual job itself, will have requirements. So the requirements for this specific job that I just made up would be a 39 to 90 second video attacking Candace Owens. The keywords that you need to put in the actual title of the post, Candace Owens lied about Erika Kirk. Now I could go on and say Candace Owens is crazy and she lied about Erika Kirk. I don't have to put keyword word for word, but those specific keywords have to be used for my tweet to actually be eligible to earn a percentage of this bounty, right?
So when you see anybody on X, on Instagram, or on YouTube just talking crazy about not Erika Kirk, but Candace Owens, and saying Candace Owens need to leave this alone, Candace Owens is crazy, Candace Owens is nuts, this is specifically the reason why. There is social media, financial social media bounties, because I don't want to say that there is an actual bounty on her life, but there is a social media bounty that is paying creators to talk shit about Candace Owens. So just keep that in mind. Anybody that you see out there that's making video after video after video, just talking shit about Candace Owens, this is the specific bounty that they are up under. They're trying to make $50,000 or be a part of the $50,000 pot. All right. There is a social media bounty out on talking shit about Candace Owens.
And then the platforms that I need to post it on can be X, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Now, if I post the same video and I post it on X and IG, I'm going to get 2 links, right? So each one of those videos is going to be earning its portion. It's not combined. It'll be on each. So if you post to IG, TikTok, YouTube, and on each platform you get 1 million views, or let's just say each platform you get 100,000 views, then you'd earn $40, $10 per 100,000 views, okay? And then, so what does that get? Like, why are people incentivized to do that? So let me just break this down. If you put up $50,000 bounty and you're paying $10, right, per 100,000 views, you could 10 divided by 50,000 is 5,000. 5,000 times 100,000 gives you 500 million views total.
Make sure to share this video out, because I think a lot of people need to see this, because this is some information that the average person does not know. So make sure to hit the like button, hit the hype button, and share this video with anybody that you know stands with Candace also. If you stand with Candace, most likely your friends stand with Candace. So share this video with them.
Now, if nobody earns that bounty will stay open. So sometimes you'll see like a job, it'll say bounty slash, 25,000 remaining or 4,000 remaining or whatever the amount of remaining money is. And the job, I didn't put the date up there, but let's just say that was posted a month ago. That might be an old job, but something might start trending or going viral. Like Candace might put out a new video and you go back in there like, oh shit, nobody's actually competing for that. Oh, I'm going to, take a stab at it and I'm going to try to earn my percentage of that bounty. And so what it looks like is basically you have your bounty, which is the job, attack Candace Owens. You submit your link here. And then once you submit your link there, it'll attach it to basically like your profile, and you'll have like a scrolling percentage counter. So it might be like every, like the minimum might be 1,000 views. So every 1,000 views you earn 10 cents or whatever the equation is, right?
And make sure to hit the thumbs up button. A lot of people watching have not hit the thumbs up button yet. Make sure to hit the like button if you have not already. Shout out to Adrian. At night we sleep. We're programming our subconscious. Our subconscious tells our woke selves during the day what to do. The elites know what to do. Well, the thing about it is when we're asleep, we're not looking at content. So if there's some type of overnight content, I think is meant for the overnight people, like people who are up late, people who work night jobs, people who, I don't know, people who are just up, just scrolling or doom scrolling. I don't think it has anything to do with people that are asleep. It's people that are awake, still on their phones. But there's some type of personality profile that people who are up late at night or are up throughout the night, who can't sleep, possibly, there's some type of personality profile to that person that, for whatever reason, is more important than the rest of us. I don't know. So that's is about the people that are awake, not the people that are asleep.
And then you won't see it, but there's just like everybody, like this person, let's just say they put out 50,000 views, they get $5, 100,000 views, get $10, $55, $10, 10 million views, get you $1,000, 100K views,
10 million views get you $1,000 is crazy. That's crazy. I just had a video that got 400,000 and I made I think between $5,000 and $7,000 off of it. I forgot what it was. So to get 1,000 off of 10 million views is crazy.
20 million views get you $2,000. And then you just basically,
20 million views get you $2,000. That's some bullshit. That ain't no money at all.
We'll have a running total on that bounty. It'll say like 39,000 left, 10,000 left, $5,000 left. And then once it runs out, you're done, right? So once the bounty bottoms out, so that's why, if you're doing this, you probably if there's only like $1,000 remaining of that bounty, you might not want to create a video, because if your video gets 1 million views, you're only going to earn, so like you put out a video, gets 10 million views and there's only $1,000 left in that bounty, you're only going to get paid for the first, million views, because once that caps out, you're done. There's no additional payouts after the bounty ends. So it's first come, first serve. And that's how these sites work. And I made a video that actually, so if you just search on Grok and you say, Grok, what are the best clipping sites for influencers?
And this guy, his name is Ryan Mata, M-A-T-A. So shout out to him. I follow him. He's really dope. His name is Ryan Mata, M-A-T-A.
It'll pull up a list like the top 5 or 10, and there's not a ton of them out there, but those are just the public ones that we know about. That doesn't include the ones that like if I was APAC, I would almost guarantee has their own version of this that's invite only, right? So when Israel wants to make something trend, you just put up a bounty, and when you put up the bounty, if you're like logged into your app or you have the app on your phone or you're using any one of these sophisticated platforms, it most likely sends you a text message, or you submit your number because it's such a small group of people, and all of a sudden 100 people get a text message that says, boop, new bounty position, new bounty, click the link to see. Like new $50,000 bounty up, and they probably click the link and it shoots them right over to the website, and they're like, oh, here's the job, here's the description. That's how it's so timed out, right? That's why when you see people, I don't want to use any names because I don't want to get any lawsuits, but the White House water boys, on how one person will tweet and then it's all of them are tweeting almost the exact same thing, similar keywords, similar topics.
Yep. And I want to show you all the list of people that are on APAC or getting paid. Check this out. For those who have not seen this, wait, what the hell? 10 videos at once. Oh, I got to remove this one. Hold on. I want to show y'all the APAC list. So this APAC list of people most likely has the same bounty system. It's just only for APAC members. Check this out. This is the list of disgusting people that most likely is on their own secret list, and they are putting out bounties, social media bounties on different people like Candace Owens. Check this out again. I like how I can just stop it and just pick a random person. I like this because there's so many damn people. This has to be at least like 3,000 people right here because it just keeps going. I don't know who the hell this person is. Victoria Sparks, Mike Boast. Some of y'all's uncles might be on here. Dick Durbin. Sanford Bishop, all these people are in APAC. Richard Blumenthal, Kevin Kiley, and of course, Donald Trump. And I think it's important for us to know exactly who is on the APAC list. I think it's an important thing for us to have knowledge of before we vote for another person, whether it's a president, whether it's a congressman, congresswoman, whether it's a mayor, whether it's a governor. If they are on that APAC list, we don't need to vote for them. Even though I don't really believe in voting, I do believe in local voting. So I just wanted to show y'all that because that was what was said in the video. So let's go back to the Candace Owens video, if I can find it.
Very little answers. Very few things were known about who is this guy? Has he been arrested? Is there a first?
So the guy, who is this guy, is the guy that allegedly ran around with a gun shooting at the ballroom. But we all know now that it's all a hoax. So there wasn't really a guy.
These individuals in an environment where you don't have any answers. Again, I'm telling you, this is 9:49 p.m. This is a little over an hour after the shooting took place. Very little answers. Very few things were known about who is this guy? Has he been arrested? Is there are there more shooters? No, this is giving us a good emotional response, and we need to now reach out to our surrogates, approved surrogates, and get this amplified and circulated across all platforms we want to see. But by tomorrow morning, this is number one. That's kind of weird. Why is this the focus point? Who recorded this video? Who's passing around? I told you, I am told that this was not a video recorded by Sarah Seidner, and that instead it was distributed to Sarah Seidner, and that they had operatives record that moment. Does that make any sense to you guys? Now, in case you are thinking, well, it's possible.
It makes sense to me because I understand that all of this is a psyop. I don't understand what they want us to do in response to it.
Possible that this just keeps happening to Erika Kirk, right? She's just being used. She just wants to go home. This terrible thing has happened. And these snakes are guarded at the White House. They're just using her against her will. I would like to strongly caution you, particularly you, Blakey Neff. What are we, 41 days in? I'd caution you against making that argument. Anyway, what happens next? Now, if you're thinking, okay, well, maybe that's normal, is that the White House completely panics because too many people were on this email. Okay, they just made a bit of a blunder. I guess you could say the White House military office panicked, and they.
So right there, to the people who kept asking, who are they? She just said it. The White House military office. Whatever that is. She just said it. The White House military office. So the White House is the they. It's not even Turning Point USA. It's the freaking White House. I'll play it again to make sure y'all heard it.
I'd caution you against making that argument. Anyway, what happens next? Now, if you're thinking, okay, well, maybe that's normal, is that the White House completely panics because too many people were on this email. Okay, they just made a bit of a blunder. I guess you could say the White House military office.
The White House military office. That's who they is, y'all. Or that's who they are. What's up, Tamara?
Panicked, and they attempted to rescind the email. This is also a plausibility. You can get your IT person, if you make a mistake and send to the wrong person, they can reach in and literally take the email out of everyone's inbox. But for some reason that did not work, or it worked too late. I don't know what the issue is, but it did not resolve the issue. They then panicked even further, I am told, and sent out multiple emails instructing the people that were on that email that they absolutely had to delete it. Okay, it was an order. You have to delete this. No questions asked. There'll be conversations about this. We need to make sure that you have this deleted. And then they brought in more IT to get involved to deal with this blunder. Now, there are other parts of this email I've read. There is nothing else here that would stand out as needing to become a White House internal emergency to get something deleted. Okay.
Other than Erika Kirk.
First part is talking about approved message, emphasize the president is secured, the VP is secured. Everyone's, they're good. That's not problematic. They say that there's no credible, there's no foreign threats. We're going to make sure we monitor any misinformation that's on the platform. That makes sense to me. They also want to, they want to monitor adversarial state media framing to make sure that, other states are not lying about what's happening.
Or they're not telling the truth about what's happening, but they want them to lie because they're trying to push a certain narrative. And both sides have opposite narratives.
And saying things, they want to monitor that activity. That all makes sense. The Erika Kirk video, asking to amplify that, to make sure that's number one by morning time, that's the part that stands out in this email. Why would that be a focus? Again, just a little over an hour after the VP and the president are taken somewhere secure.
Because it wasn't a shooting. It was all a lie. We just got to find out specifically, because we have a ballpark understanding of why, but what is the specific reason why they want us to freak out about this whole situation? What is about to happen next? Because there's always what is going to happen next. They're setting us up for this to happen. We know what this is, and we know this is fake, but we don't know when, why, and where this is going to happen.
Because there's a potential shooting. They are not all just a bunch of clowns and characters trying to gin up our emotions to sway us one way or the other. And particularly over the last 8 months, it's just been like, you need to feel bad for Erika Kirk. That's kind of been a focus of the White House. There is an unnatural alliance here between Turning Point USA and the White House. It's too much. It's feeling a bit squishy in here.
Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button.
He was, as you will recall, also the person that Erika brought with her for our...
Hold up. We missed something. Yeah, Justin Strife.
The other, and particularly over the last 8 months, it's just been like, you need to feel bad for Erika Kirk. That's kind of been a focus of the White House. There is an unnatural alliance here between Turning Point USA and the White House. It's too much. It's feeling a bit squishy in here. Justin Strife, just to jog your memory here, he is the Chief Operating Officer of Turning Point USA. That's a new position to which he was promoted just 7 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was, as you will recall, also the person that Erika brought with her for our 4-hour sit-down meeting. So we can surmise from that there is some trust between the two. I remember that I had specifically asked Justin Strife about that audit at Turning Point USA, the audit that Charlie announced at the same time that he promoted Justin. Remember, that was one email. Someone outside of the organization that Charlie knew in a personal capacity told me that Charlie opened up to him and said that $10 million was missing from his organization. And that it wasn't Turning Point USA, but it was Turning Point Action and America's Turning Point, right?
So let's keep going. But that was a lot. That was really a lot. And we're getting closer and closer to proving that this whole thing, Charlie Kirk's unaliving, and all of these weird situations that keep happening are all theater and they're all a lie.
The most unbelievable part of the entire thing is that Erika Kirk video where she's walking by. The most unbelievable part of the entire thing is that Erika Kirk video where she's walking by and she's going, I just want to go home. Girl, you haven't been home since September. You are in the streets constantly. You are in multiple cities on multiple stages with multiple walkout songs, sparkly jumpsuits, and microphones. That is, if you just said, just get me out of here, you literally could have said anything else and I might have been more sold. We just want you to go home too. Go home. I literally can't. How is it that the second that you get within earshot of an iPhone, you can say under your breath perfectly? Like, I do have to give credit where credit is due because I do hold a bachelor's in theater and I don't think I could get my timing right while walking and then with the head down. The acting is getting better. I think we are seeing somebody getting some coaching possibly. Like, we're doing multiple takes of things. We definitely know how to be in and around iPhones and all of that kind of stuff.
And we're going to talk about the coaching in a second. There is definitely, I think it's what is his name? Andrew Kolvet, who is coaching her to do all this stuff
now, which is really exciting. You could have literally looked at the camera and said, God says hi, like he just spoke to you, and it would have been more believable to me.
All right, so let's look into this. Shout out to Baron Coleman, if I can find the video. Where's Baron Coleman? Here it is right here.
Done the deep dive on Andrew Kolvet. We haven't seen that they both went to work for Mark Burnett.
So Andrew Kolvet is the person that seems to be behind these emails and what they want Erika Kirk to portray. I don't know if they want her to be portrayed as a cat burglar or a victim. One of the two. Maybe a cat burglar victim. Can a cat burglar be a victim? I don't know.
Johnny Moore. They both went to work for Kairos. Kairos is nothing more than an Israeli front organization. That much is obvious. If you look at all they do, that's all they do. That's all they talk about. That's all they care about. And that is the context, ladies and gentlemen. That is the context. Andrew Kolvet pursues Charlie Kirk. I remind you, this is, again, we talked about this yesterday, but this is back from the New York Times podcast that Andrew Kolvet did with Ross Douthat. And here is, now that you have the context, I want you to listen to this again. Now that you have the context of who Johnny Moore is, who Andrew Kolvet is, What is their only primary concern? Now that you know that, I want you to now reread this with me and tell me if the approach to Charlie Kirk doesn't make more sense now. Andrew Kolvet, yeah, I'll go back a step. I was actually living and working in Hollywood. That was the Mark Burnett era. I had a job working with Mark Burnett of The Voice, Celebrity Apprentice, Survivor, and Shark Tank. Oh, I'm just a Hollywood guy, man. He was doing these projects, and then at some point he got into faith-based content. I was thrown into the deep end. One day we would be at Jimmy Kimmel, we'd be at a nightly show, we would go to CNN, we'd go to Fox, then we'd be to church. Oh, just doing the Hollywood thing, broskies. Just doing the Hollywood thing. Mark's chief of staff at the time, a guy named Johnny Moore. Now we know who he is. We know what kind of guy he is. We know his past. We know his childhood. We know his connection to Jerry Falwell Sr. We know how he rose through the ranks of Liberty University to be personally recruited for some weird reason out of Liberty University, tiny little nothing college, Liberty University, by Mark Burnett of The Survivor, The Voice, The Shark Tank. Mark's chief of staff at the time was a guy named Johnny Moore. Now we have context. We know who Johnny Moore is now. Now this interview starts to have color. It starts to have life. Johnny Moore started a PR company. He asked me to start it with him. Oh, seems so innocent the first time I heard it. Seems so innocent the first time I heard him say that. I was like, oh, okay. Guy named Johnny Moore wants you to start a PR company. Big deal. I wanted to write screenplays, actually. Doing the LA thing. My head was still very much in that space. I wanted to make content. So I kind of refused and refused. Well, you didn't refuse.
So what is happening here is what Baron Coleman is doing is breaking down how Andrew Kolvet and why Andrew Kolvet started working with Charlie Kirk in the first place. What he's saying is Andrew Kolvet and this other guy, they literally were, to a certain degree, trying to get into movies or whatever. And they ran into Charlie Kirk, or they seen Charlie Kirk as a potential lick to take over his company.
Refused long because he started the company in July and you went to work for him in August. So you only refused for like 30 days. And then he said, why don't you just work a couple of days a week? Help me get this thing off the ground and then you can do your own thing. Okay, but what is it Andrew is bringing to this operation? We know who Johnny Moore is. We know what his interest is. We know his major concern is military intervention on behalf of our greatest ally. I mean, that's just obvious. You just look at his life and that's all you see. So why did he think Andrew was such a perfect fit? One point, Charlie came across the path of Johnny. What passive language Andrew uses there? Andrew's a wordsmith. He's not an idiot. He knows what he's saying. Charlie came across the path of Johnny in Southern Florida at some event. That makes it sound like Charlie just stumbled into the room and wouldn't you know it, Johnny just happened to be there. Almost like the Bill Montgomery origin story. Oh, Bill, just 72-year-old guy hanging out on a college campus. I mean, who among us, right? Who at 72 doesn't go to political events on college campuses? I mean, it's just a dime a dozen, right? And if you look at the video from that day, there's only like 20 people there. But Bill Montgomery's one of them. Charlie just came across the path of Johnny, Southern Florida at some event. Wouldn't you know? And Johnny, he said, hey, you should look at this guy. Look into this guy. He's young, but I think he's got a lot of energy. You should contact him. Here's his email. Well, who was Charlie Kirk at the time? Well, we know.
All right, Charlie Kirk is in it now.
He was running an organization that was primarily economic in nature. All they did, they went around the college campuses and they talked to people about economic liberty. It was like the Tea Party for college kids. And you've got Charlie Kirk who goes out there and he campaigns for Donald Trump and he shows up at Donald Trump events and he convinces a whole lot of college kids to go out and vote for Donald Trump. He earns his stripes. He shows his medal. He shows he has some talent. And Johnny's looking at this guy, Charlie, and he says he's got a lot of energy, got a lot of talent. We've got to intervene. We can't risk this guy getting on the wrong side of our only issue we care about.
And that's it right there. We have to intervene. Yep.
So what does Andrew do? Well, he reaches out. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, I'd love to talk, maybe working with you. He basically ghosted for a while. Okay, well, that really throws a wrench in the plan. You can't take over his organization, direct it to become a pro-Zionist all the time organization if he won't talk to you.
Godparent home, a place for young
All right, I need y'all to listen to this for a second, and I'll come right back.
single pregnant women is defending itself against allegations of coercion and manipulation.
A new podcast called Liberty Lost alleges some of the young women felt pressured to place their children for adoption.
The Liberty Godparent home is tucked away on Liberty Mountain Drive. The maternity home was founded by Jerry Falwell Sr. in the 80s as part of a pro-life ministry at Thomas Road Baptist Church.
Okay, so this Jerry Falwell Sr. person has a lot to do with Andrew Kolvet and Andrew Kolvet's assistant that Barron is talking about. So y'all listen to this and check this out.
Now it's the focal point of the podcast, Liberty Lost.
What inspired you to investigate this in the first place?
For the last 2 years, I've been investigating the maternity home after connecting with several residents who went through the home as pregnant teenage girls, both in the 1990s and in 2008.
One of those residents, Abby Johnson. At 16, she got pregnant.
Finding out I was pregnant was traumatic and shocking and not something I had any preparation for mentally, socially, emotionally.
Her parents sent her across the country to Liberty Godparent Home with the promise of a scholarship to Liberty University after all was said and done.
I really can't describe the sense of abandonment and fear and disassociation that you experience when your family abandons you, all the while calling it something like good for you and like this is a plan.
Johnson says she wanted to keep her son. However, she felt the home already made the decision to go the adoption route. But she says the godparent home shouldn't have ties to an adoption agency. Shouldn't have ties to an adoption agency. Shouldn't have ties to an adoption agency. According to city records, the godparent home and the Family Life Services Adoption Agency share an address. Thomas Road Baptist Church founded Family Life Services according to their website.
Now, why she was triggered when she heard Erika speaking about Trump pageantry, to connect that dot for you, is because Erika had said, you know, you have to submit your pictures. Well, she goes back home. She's still a teenager. And 2 years later, she gets an invite to join Trump pageant world.
They used to lock us in our room 24 hours a day. We were locked in our room. We weren't allowed visitors. We weren't allowed people at our home. I didn't have no visitors because I didn't have no family there, of course. I didn't have no family there, so I didn't have nobody.
How old were you?
I had to be 13, 14.
Okay, and who took pictures?
I was born in 79.
Who took pictures of you?
Fowler Senior. And then his face looked familiar, but he looked older now. And you're talking 30 years ago, you know.
Mm-hmm. But Jerry Falwell Sr. was the one actually taking the photos?
Yeah, I remember him and his wife there. But another thing weird about it is I never thought about, like, what happened the morning I delivered my baby. Everything was weird. And I think about it now, it's all weird to me. But then it wasn't because I was only 13, 14 years old.
Right.
I made mistakes. I mean, I totally turned my life around. I have 4 kids now, 2 grandbabies, but, you know,
I want to go back to, so what was weird about that night that you gave birth?
Oh gosh, the night before, okay, so they have a live-in mother, 24 hours. I called there like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. This is what's weird. I called there, right after I prayed, I called there because this video of Erika came up with Trump, and you have to get invited. And I was like, how in the world did I get invited?
So you hear this woman say, Erika came up. A video of Erika Kirk came up. Listen to that part again.
Right after I prayed, I called there because this video of Erika came up with Trump.
This video of Erika came up with Trump.
And you have to get invited. And I was like, how in the world did I get invited? And to this day, I still don't know how in the world I got invited to that. And what pictures they had of me.
Interesting.
Now I'm mistaken again.
Okay.
So let me stop right there and let me go back to Barron. So Jerry Falwell allegedly, either Jerry Falwell or Jerry Falwell Jr., I think it's Jr. Jerry Falwell Jr. allegedly had, he was a pastor, and then he had or owned a school for girls that got pregnant and got kicked out by their mothers. And then next door to that was a foster care place, right? So what they would do, because this woman that is talking is literally, it was Senior. Okay. She was one of these women, and she's going to explain to you that her mom kicked her out, or here's what's crazy. Her mom was in church with Jerry Falwell. She was in church, and the church itself, this is reason why I'm anti-church, not anti-God, but anti-church, because the church is a psyop. The church told the mom that if your daughters, any of your daughters, were to come home pregnant, God said to get rid of her because she is unholy. And then she turned around, the mother sent her, because the lady that talking, she was a kid at the time, sent her to this school for troubled pregnant girls. And unbeknownst to the young girl, unbeknownst to the mother possibly, they took her baby and took the baby and sent the baby to this orphanage that was right next door to the little place. In other words, they sold her baby. Okay. So I want to go back to the guy that was with Andrew Kolvet had affiliations with Jerry Falwell in his school. And that's the reason why Erika Kirk is so connected to all these weirdos. Because like you heard, the lady said, I seen a video of Erika Kirk.
Okay, so you had the baby, and what was weird about that night?
Okay, the night before like I said, they have house mothers, and I can't remember details, but I remember.
And her house mother was some kin to somebody else that was somewhere else. So she's seen the house mother out in the world somewhere, and then now she's in there with the house mother, and she's like, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm the house mother. Weren't you a part of the church that my mom was in?
Them doing, putting the probe on, listening to the heartbeat pretty much, and looking at, doing the ultrasound. Mm-hmm. Okay, to this day, I've had, 4 other kids, plenty of ultrasounds, so I know what they were doing was funny to me because everything was fine that night, and then they moved me.
When she says she had 4 other kids, she's saying as an adult now, she's grown up, started her life, and she had 4 kids as an adult. So she's saying she's moved on from this and had 4 other kids. She didn't have 4 other kids in this monetary school. She had 4 other kids later on in her life. That's what she meant about kids.
Which was weird. They moved me to another room by myself.
Okay.
At that time, I had another girl with me. There's all these different girls there, and some of them don't even speak English. Okay.
How old are how many girls live in that house?
Back then there was about between 12 and 15 in one house, but you're talking anywhere
Somebody said, how do I know what they're saying? Because I watched the video.
from age 12 to 21 years old,
Mm-hmm. And some of them didn't speak English?
Yeah, there was a couple girls, they didn't speak English, but we weren't allowed to, that's another thing, we weren't allowed to talk to the other girls.
Like slaves. That's how they did with slaves. So let's go back to Barron.
Backup plan here. That's not going to work. Oh, wouldn't you know it? Bad luck befell Charlie. All of a sudden, there was some bad news story.
So this is the other side of the psyop, getting with Charlie. So Andrew Kolvet was trying to get Charlie Kirk to hire him as a PR agent.
And Johnny's looking at this guy, Charlie.
So Johnny is a guy that worked with the monetary school or whatever the hell the type of school is that we was just talking about with the lady giving up her baby.
And he says he's got a lot of energy, got a lot of talent. We've got to intervene. We can't risk this guy getting on the wrong side of our only issue we care about.
We can't risk Charlie Kirk being on the other side of all the things that we care about. So we have to infiltrate Turning Point USA using Erika Kirk, by the way, because they use Erika Kirk as a honeypot, because there's another video about Charlie Kirk being a virgin. All right. So I'm gonna play that again. I'm play that too. So I'm not saying that everybody knew Charlie Kirk was a virgin, but you could look at Charlie Kirk and tell he's kind of like a dork. So they use a honeypot, which is Erika Kirk, in order to infiltrate Turning Point USA in order to get access to the millions or probably hundreds of thousands of students in their database in order to use that database to get tadpoles.
You should look into him. Here's his email. So what does Andrew do? Well, he reaches out. So I reached out to him. I said, hey, I'd love to talk, maybe working with you. He basically ghosted for a while. Okay, well, that really throws a wrench in the plan. You can't take over his organization, direct it to become a pro-Zionist all-the-time organization if he won't talk to you. We got to have a backup plan here.
So he tried to reach out to him, and he said no.
That's not going to work. Oh, wouldn't you know it? Bad luck befell Charlie. All of a sudden, there was some bad news story where all the media conspired to destroy TPUSA. All of a sudden, there was some bad news story where all the media conspired to destroy TPUSA. And Charlie got really desperate.
This is before Erika Kirk. And this is why when Erika Kirk got to Turning Point USA, they started making more money.
The whole thing blew up on him. And that's when we finally connected. Wow, what fortune for me, Andrew Kolvet, and Johnny Moore, that Charlie finally faced something so awful that he couldn't handle it on his own and he had to bring me in.
As a PR person.
I got to work with him via the agency for about a year.
Somebody said monastery school. Thank you. I was saying monetary school. Monastery school. Thank you, Crystal.
And then he basically said, hey, I like you. I'll hire you. I'll be your first client. Also, I want to start a podcast, and I want you to help me do that. This is the context in which Johnny Moore and Andrew Kolvet pursue Charlie Kirk.
And remember, Johnny Moore, the reason why he's a part of this is because he was the one, or is the one, that was directly connected to Jerry Falwell and Jerry Falwell Jr., which had a lot to do with the monastery schools.
This is the context. All greatest ally all the time. All foreign intervention on behalf of our greatest ally, American foreign intervention. All manipulation, lies, deceit.
And how did they manipulate Charlie Kirk so easily? This is it.
They're suing Candace Owens.
Nope, that's not it. Let's see. Is it this one?
Starting to make a lot more sense.
Yeah, here we go. Shout out to Danks. His channel is Original Dankster. So this is where Danks shows proof that Charlie Kirk was a virgin, which made him easily able to be manipulated.
Things are starting to make a lot more sense. The fact that Charlie Kirk was a virgin when he met Erika Kirk? No, it couldn't be, could it?
This will nurse his, broken heart, and also he'll realize there's other people.
Oh, and she came in after a broken heart?
Erika came in at the perfect time. Why? Because Tyler Boyer and Andrew Kolvet was around Charlie Kirk at the time, and he most likely had a breakup or whatever. And all of a sudden, they was like, bring in the honeypot. And next thing you know, the honeypot came in and boom, took Charlie Kirk's took his virginity and took his life. That's crazy. That's crazy. Shout out to Danks.
I don't know if anyone's attached that, but
He's an absolute genius. He's got so much going for him, but like he's young in those ways. Like I'm like telling this kid to like wear a suit that fits him, you know? Like he was a virgin when he got married, so I don't feel like I'm oversharing here. And when
did we hear that? He's only been married once, right?
you know, like he was a virgin when he got married, so I don't feel like I'm oversharing here. A suit that fits him, you know? Like he was a virgin when he got married, so I don't feel like
He was a virgin when he got married. Erika Kirk is his first wife. What do you think this means? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this is an operation to trick Charlie? Now we know, at least in my opinion, allegedly, maybe perhaps, why Erika Kirk lied about all of the relationships she's had in the past.
Because Erika Kirk was probably a hoe. You know, she was getting passed around by everybody, all these athletes and shit. And then she got whiff of this young dude who's a dork, who is just, you know, going over on college campuses and, you know, just working. Next thing you know, Andrew Kolvet, who is presently working with Charlie Kirk, probably told Erika, like, yo, this dude is a whole virgin. He ain't getting no ass. You come over here as Miss Arizona, you'll blow his mind. And you're a hoe. Bring your ass over here. And Erika Kirk was like, okay. Because she's running around trying to use men left and right, trying to get pregnant or whatever. Ain't nobody getting her pregnant. Get over here with this virgin. He'll instantly get you pregnant. And that's what he did. He got with her, got her pregnant. Or didn't get her pregnant because it's a possibility that they don't have children.
Drinking. Is she lying about religion too?
That went out to the campus regarding the shooting didn't go out until 88 minutes after the shot. Okay. And
I'll get into this later because I don't want to get into the weeds. Okay. Back to Barron. Where's Barron? Back to Barron.
Sob stories. Oh, give money to all this. Franklin Graham, give money to me. It's all a lie. It was not innocent. It was a capture mission. They sought out Charlie Kirk and captured him. He had an influential conservative organization that was gaining ground and momentum with young people. It was 2017. Charlie was getting stronger. He was getting more influential. And here's the key. He had to be controlled or destroyed.
Yep.
And that's what the scandal with that Crystal girl was about. That's what the racist text messages was about.
And Erika, her number one job, which she failed at, was to control Charlie Kirk. But Erika Kirk is an idiot. So because she's an idiot, she was not able to keep control over Charlie Kirk because she's as dumb as a doorknob. They just seen Erika Kirk as pretty. They didn't know she was dumb. So she couldn't control Charlie Kirk. Therefore, they had to get rid of Charlie Kirk.
Andrew Kolvet was the lifeline. You want out of this? You got to join the team. Otherwise, we're going to destroy you. We'll make you, Charlie Kirk, the racist guy.
Yep.
Or you can hire me. You can bring me in, smooth it out. Get the media off your back. We'll turn you into an international sensation.
And at this particular time, Charlie Kirk was getting a lot of backlash about talking about black people. Put a one in the chat if you remember Charlie Kirk saying something stupid about black pilots. Well, if he got on an airplane and seen a black pilot, he would get off the plane. He'll say all this shit about the blacks. He'll call black people the blacks. So he started having all these racist types of scandals around him. And Andrew Kolvet came in and made it all go away. And then instantly, Charlie Kirk became this God-loving family man. And he wasn't that at first. Andrew Kolvet came in and changed his whole way of life.
Turn you into a rock star. Your call. Are there any other ideas of who Franklin Graham is and why Johnny Moore is so excited? When asked about whether Trump would support Israel's annexation of the West Bank, remember we talked about that last night, the $100 million donation that Miriam Adelson allegedly gave Donald Trump. After surviving 2 assassination attempts, Trump might be weighing decisions differently. Interesting take, number one ally, Franklin Graham.
So I can go on and on and on. Of course, I am going to go on and on and on, but just not in one live stream. I've been going on and on and on for almost a year now about Charlie Kirk. So we're going to go farther than this tomorrow. Actually, I might do 2 live streams tomorrow because I got a special show actually about this. So Adrian said, no, not Adrian. Erika said, are you going to have Blake Betnars on? I'm actually going to do a live stream about Blake Betnars and the Scooby-Doo group, all this stuff tomorrow. So we're going to have a special live stream tomorrow, and I may do another live stream about going farther into this tomorrow. So make sure to subscribe to my channel. Put a 1 in the chat if you have already subscribed to my channel. Put a 1 in the chat right now if you have already subscribed to my channel. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm doing a very special live stream about the Blake Betnars, the Kelly girl, the Scooby-Doo chat. We're going to talk about all the backstory stuff that was going on in the Scooby-Doo chat. Remember a long time ago? Well, the Scooby-Doo chat is still going on now, but some of y'all are in the Scooby-Doo chat now, but it was a lot of drama going on in the Scooby-Doo chat and with Blake Betnars and the Kelly girl. And we're going to talk about all of that tomorrow. And it's going to be absolutely crazy. Yeah, Blake Betnars went on Didi with a podcast. I may or may not have Blake on. I don't know. But we're literally going to have an intervention about Blake Betnars tomorrow. So whether it's with Blake Betnars or without Blake Betnars, we're doing a show tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We're going to hold an intervention for Blake Betnars. Whether he's there or whether he isn't, that's not the point. We're talking about Blake tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon. So put it on your calendars, subscribe to the channel, and it's going to be a good one. And it's a very needed conversation that we all needed to have because some of y'all, like Didi with a podcast, shout out to him. He didn't know who the hell Blake was. I know who Blake was. Well, Blake is. I know all this shit. I know Danks. I know Blake. I know all these damn people. I know Barron. I know all these damn people. So we're going to talk about all of it tomorrow. So subscribe to my channel. If you have not already, make sure your notification bell is on if you have already subscribed, but hit the like button and I'm going to play the hit the like button song. And thank you for becoming a new member. Thank you so much. I'm about to play the like button song and we'll be out of here. But before we play the like button song, we got to play this song.
Just in, a new way of healing is sweeping the country, and it's a card game called Like Mother, Like Daughter. This game is powerful.
My favorite question was, if you could parent me all over again, what would you change? This card game has a mother deck and a daughter deck, so we both have questions for each other. These are some good questions.
Do you think I'm a people pleaser? If so, where did I get this trait from?
This card game actually helped my marriage, and the questions showed me that I still had unresolved issues with my mom, and I was taking them out on my husband.
If you don't do anything else, buy this card game. You won't regret it. Click the link below.
Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game.
And make sure to get your mother-daughter card games. I thought I was going to sell out. I still have mother-daughter card games. If anybody still wanted to get your mother-daughter card games, and I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. All right, so let's go.
Everybody, everybody hit the like button. 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 If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. Drop the city in the chat. Let me know.
See y'all tomorrow.